Todd Chrisley reveals who is really responsible for pardons. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. Reality television star Todd Chrisley is sharing who he feels is truly responsible for him and his wife being pardoned. They were locked up in January 2023 and ultimately freed in May 2025. So, who was behind all of this? Keep reading for more details. Todd Chrisley reveals who is really responsible for pardons. Since Todd Chrisley and his wife, Julie Chrisley, were sentenced to a collective 19 years behind bars, the fight was on. They headed to their respective prisons, Todd in Pensacola and Julie in Kentucky. All the time that they were away, their daughter Savannah Chrisley stood firm by their sides. She made it her mission to get them freed or, at the very least, their sentences significantly reduced. At the same time, she was raising her two younger siblings and ensuring they were safe and happy. Ultimately, at the end of May 2025, Savannah got the call from President Donald Trump that he was pardoning her parents. She had worked tirelessly to campaign for President Trump and was very proactive, which all paid off. Her parents walked within 24 hours of getting the pardon call. Although Todd and Savannah spoke at a press conference, they gathered with Julie and Grayson for a sit-down with Lara Trump. While doing this, Todd explained that God is really the one responsible for their pardons. Of course, he credits the president for making the call and allowing them to be free. However, he is very spiritual and truly is grateful to God, who had previously been angry with. Heading to Pensacola without his wife, Julie Chrisley, by his side was very hard for Todd Chrisley. They have been married for nearly 30 years. Therefore, that first night behind bars was understandably difficult. He was not happy with the person he held so much faith in. Todd questioned why God would do this to him when he had believed he had been so loyal. He then had a dream where God came to him and shared that he had planted him where he felt he was needed. Todd Chrisley now sees that he was where he belonged and is determined to help other inmates. He met some amazing men when he was behind bars, who were his biggest supporters. The same went for Julie Chrisley, as she also met many women along the way who deserved a second chance. To get them the chances that they so desperately deserve is vital to the couple now that they have been blessed. Fans were thrilled to see them back together and speaking out. Todd Chrisley is finally speaking his truth about the whispers surrounding the campaign to secure presidential pardons for him and his wife Julie. The former reality star, who has remained at the center of public and legal controversy since entering prison, is not holding back anymore. With a tone laced in raw emotion and calculated fire, Todd has come forward with a dramatic and unexpected revelation that points the spotlight not on politicians or family advocates, but on someone else entirely, someone who's operated behind the scenes in silence, carefully steering the narrative and pulling the strings of influence. Todd's bombshell disclosure not only reshapes the public understanding of his pardon pursuit, but also redefines the very core of his post-prison fight. For months, the speculation churned. Was it Savannah? Was it legal teams with DC ties? Was it a political favor brokered at the highest levels? Everyone had a theory. Now, Todd is shattering all assumptions. In a voice recording released through his legal team and later picked up by national outlets, Todd identified a figure previously unknown to most of the public as the actual mastermind behind their pardon momentum. According to him, the Orchestrator is a private advocate and political strategist who first took interest in the Chrisley's case after watching a documentary-style interview posted online shortly after Todd's incarceration. The man had no ties to the entertainment world, no fame to his name, and yet he allegedly held the keys to unlocking direct conversations with White House insiders. This strategist reportedly began assembling a dossier, not just of the Chrisleys' criminal record and prison details, but of what Todd calls a human case file, filled with letters, photos, testimonials, and corrections to what they believe the media got wrong. Todd says that this figure never once accepted $1 from the family and worked purely on principle. In the recording, Todd refers to him as a silent lion and a man who saw injustice and moved heaven and earth because he still believes in America's ability to right its wrongs. While Todd didn't name this individual directly, sources close to the family hint that this may soon change if the pardon goes through. Beyond naming the silent force behind the campaign, Todd goes deeper, calling out what he believes are misleading portrayals not only of his case, but of the broader federal justice system. He accuses specific prosecutors of having ulterior motives and claims that parts of his case were manipulated for narrative control. Without backing down, Todd insists that many key players in the media and legal space helped twist the perception of the Chrisleys into something unrecognizable. People consumed what was served to them, Todd said. But the truth? Well, that was locked behind bars with us. Julie Chrisley, whose own legal path has remained more private than Todd's bold statements, also reportedly supports the claims made in the audio. She has quietly stood by her husband throughout their legal ordeal, and sources suggest she too was aware of the behind-the-scenes maneuvering that was happening under the radar. According to insiders, the family has been told multiple times by federal contracts that their pardon request has traction, and Todd attributes that traction directly to the unseen force he is now crediting. Savannah Chrisley, who has spearheaded a large part of the public campaign, including podcast appearances, tearful interviews, and social media pushes, responded to her father's revelations with pride and relief. "This is what he's been waiting to say," she told a local outlet. "This is the truth he's been sitting with, and it changes everything." But even she admits that the revelation caught her off guard. "I knew there were powerful people helping us, but I had no idea it was this specific person. It blows my mind." Meanwhile, public opinion remains fractured. Some remain steadfast in their belief that the Chrisleys deserve their sentencing, viewing Todd's new revelations as an attempt to garner sympathy or manipulate public narratives ahead of a possible pardon. Others see the unveiling of a private strategist as proof that this was never about celebrity status or pulling strings through fame. It was about convincing someone with power and passion that the Chrisleys' case deserves another look. Whether this shifts the tide in their favor or ignites fresh scrutiny remains to be seen. Todd, never one to shy away from dramatic language, ended the recording with a chilling message to those he feels have worked to suppress their voice. The truth doesn't care if you like it. It doesn't care if you buried it. It doesn't care if you erased it from headlines or paid to keep it quiet. The truth outlives the lie, and now the truth is out. What comes next could be pivotal not only for Todd and Julie Chrisley, but for how high-profile federal cases are pursued, reviewed, and redeemed in the eyes of the public. The news of a mysterious strategist shaking the foundation of a federal conviction adds a dramatic new dimension to the Chrisley story. With the presidential election looming and the pardon list still under lock and key, speculation is growing hotter by the day. The Chrisleys' legal team has remained tight-lipped about whether the strategist in question has communicated directly with any presidential advisors. However, anonymous leaks from inside the Beltway have suggested that the Chrisley case has come up in recent internal meetings about clemency recommendations. Whether these discussions are politically motivated or driven by the alleged new evidence and character evaluations remains unknown. In the eyes of many fans, Todd's revelation casts a heroic light on a quiet figure who refused to stay silent in the face of what he saw as injustice. To critics, it's yet another example of the Chrisleys spinning media attention to their advantage. But regardless of public perception, there's no denying that Todd has managed to redirect the national conversation once again. No longer is the focus solely on Savannah's emotional pleas or Julie's health in prison. It's about a person the world didn't know existed until now. What makes this revelation so compelling isn't just the man behind the curtain. It's what it says about influence and redemption in America today. Can a private citizen, armed with nothing but moral conviction and a persuasive case file, sway the highest office in the land? Can strategy overpower scandal? Can silence speak louder than fame? Todd Chrisley certainly thinks so, And now he wants everyone else to believe it too. Whether this mysterious figure will step forward publicly remains an open question. But the conversation he ignited is already burning through headlines, social feeds, and political discussion panels across the country. And with Todd Chrisley once again at the center of the storm, the only certainty is that more revelations are coming, and the truth he speaks of may still have layers left to uncover. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.